whiteboard. Nobody knows what joke that was. Okay, here we go. Don't say it. All right. So now we have to solve a system. Yeah, and you can choose whatever method. The system is when a line comes together, you're trying to find their intersection point. So this is a system of equations. It's a 2x2. You have 2 equations, 2 unknowns. And you have lots of things. You can graph them. You can substitute them. You can use matrices to solve. There's all kinds of. I'd choose elimination. No one wants elimination? Oh, really? Oh, I'd choose elimination. I'd multiply the entire first row by 5. And I'd get 5a plus 5b equals 25. Add these up. And I get 8b equals 24. So substitution, you like it better? So b equals 3, which means that a would be 2. Okay. So one last step. Go back to up here. See this? This is what we're really trying to find. What this is. A over x plus 3 plus b over x minus 5. So a is 2. So my answer is going to be 2 over, make sure you get them right too. It's important. 2 over x plus 3 plus 3 over x minus 5. And that's the answer. We broke it down. Took a long time. Tomorrow or Thursday, we're then going to integrate that. We're going to add on. So right now, it's just the first step of how to actually do a partial fraction decomposition. But that's not too bad. It involved a lot of algebra, though, didn't it? Yeah. We're going to do some more, though. Okay? All right, let's go. Number 2. Well, I've got 4. I don't know if we'll need all of them. The next one, though, is going to be a 3x3 system. So, yeah. Okay, number 2. Break it down. F of x equals x minus 13 over 2x squared minus 7x plus 3. All right, I chose this one. It's the same thing as the last time, but I chose this one because you have to factor it. You know, this is like star method if you want to factor the star method. I don't know if you remember how to do that. Do you remember how to factor this, though?
Yeah, you do a star, you put the 2's up there.
Yeah. Some people can just factor this straight away. Can you just factor it? No? Because 2x squared is just 2x times x.
It's negative 7 and negative 1.
Yeah. Well, no, 3, and 3 is going to be 3 times 1, so I would need a 3 here and a 1 there to make 6, and 1 gives me negative 7 in the middle. That's the way I did that when I was growing up. Star method. Let's do star method. Okay. I didn't have star method when I was your age. I walked to school. 2 times 3 is 6. I walked to school uphill both ways in the snow barefoot. Okay. 2 times 3 is 6, negative 7 on the bottom. Put a 2 here and a 2 there. And then what times what 6 adds up to negative 7 is a negative 6 and a negative 1. Remember star method? And then 2 over 6 is 1 over negative 3. And 2 over 1 doesn't reduce. And so you do get 2x minus 1 times x minus 3. It's been a while since you've done a star method, huh? All right. The rest of it's going to be the same, though, so let's see if we can do it. So we have x minus 13, and then we just factored this as 2x minus 1 times x minus 3. And this is going to equal, we're going to break it down into a over, and it doesn't matter which one's a over, because whatever you get, the right number will be over the right, denominator, plus b over x minus 3. Okay, you want to try this? You want to try the rest of it? No? Okay. All right, so here we go. We're going to take this and multiply everybody through by 2x minus 1 times x minus 3. Okay, so all of the numerators. So when we go here, everything reduces, leaving us with x minus 13. Here we get a times x minus 3. Over here we get b times 2x minus 1. so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put the x's together. I kind of do this in one step if you don't mind. I have ax plus 2bx is going to be a plus 2b times x. And then my other one, which is going to be the next part, which is minus 3a and then minus b. Are these colors bothering you? Maybe. All right. So now what we have is the coefficient in front of x is 1. So a plus 2b will equal 1. And negative 3a minus b will equal negative 13. All right. Once again, you know, I would probably choose elimination. I just love elimination. You can multiply the entire first row by 3 and get 3a plus 6b equals 3. Usually I make these turn out to be nice integers instead of fractions, so if you get something like 4b equals 13, you did something wrong probably. So 5b equals 10, which means that b is 2. Okay, I go back up here and I'm going to plug it in probably into this first one.
Wait, you did it?
Yeah?
Negative 13 plus 3 will be negative 10. So it'll be negative 2.
Oopsies. Thank you. Oopsies. All right, so negative 2 goes in here to make negative 4, so a would be what, 5? And then I pressed record. Nobody knows what joke that was. Okay, here we go. Right here. So a minus 4. All right. So now we have to solve a system. Yeah, and
So
you can
A
choose
is
whatever
5.
method. The system is when a line comes together, a
Last
line
step.
comes together, trying to
Once
find
you're
out
done with
intersection
that,
point.
you're not quite done
So
yet.
it's a system
You
of
gotta put
equations,
the A
2 by
on
2.
top
You
of
have
the
2
A
equations,
on
2
top of the
unknowns.
2x minus
And you have
1
lots
and the on top
of
of the
things.
x
You
minus
graph
1.
them. You can substitute them.
So
you
your
can use
answer would be
matrices to solve.
5
There's all
over
kinds of
2x minus 1.
I'd choose elimination. No one
Plus-
wants elimination?
B,
Oh,
which
really?
is
Oh, I'd choose elimination. I'd
negative
multiply
2.
the
You could write
entire
minus
first
in the
row
middle
by
of them if you
5,
wanted to. X
and I'd
minus
get 5a
Okay.
plus 5b equals 25.
Let's do one more.
Add these up,
And I think I'm going to get rid of the long division
and I
problem.
get 8b equals
It's
24.
just a bit.
So
it's just a
substitution,
bit
you like it
too
better?
much for the end of the school
So
year.
b equals 3. Okay,
Which
but
means
this
that
one
A
you
would be
need to
2.
know how to do because I am going to put one like this on your test next week, so pay attention.
Okay.
All right,
So,
so we're going to
one last
break down this one.
Last
Go back
one of
to
the
up
day.
here. See this? This
X
is what we're
squared
really
plus
trying
12
to find.
x plus 12.
What this is. A over x plus 3 plus
all
b over x
over
minus 5.
X cubed
So
minus
a is 2.
4x.
So my answer is going to be 2 over, okay, make sure you get them right too.
So as you
Important.
see, this one
2
is a little
over
different.
x plus 3
We got a cubic on the bottom, so it's going to factor
plus
into
3
different
over
factors.
x minus
So we're going to
5.
have A, B, and C
And that's
now.
the answer. So
We
fun,
broke
huh?
it down.
Okay, so here we go.
It's a long time.
This is
Tomorrow or Thursday,
do that.
we're then
This is
going
x
to integrate
squared
that. We're going to add on. So
plus
right now, this is the first
12x
step of
plus
how to actually
12.
do a partial fraction.
And when you
decomposition.
factor the denominator,
But that's not too bad.
you
It
factor
involved a
an
lot of
x,
algebra, though, didn't it?
and then you're left with x squared minus 4.
yeah.
But that's
We're gonna do
also
some more, though.
factorable. Okay? All right, let's go.
The
Number
plus
2.
and minus.
Or difference of 2 squares, remember that?
Well,
So x plus
I've
2.
got 4. I
and
don't know
x
if we'll need
minus
all of
2.
them. The next one,
So that's
though,
how the
is
denominator
going to be
factors.
a 3 by 3
Don't factor the
system,
numerator,
so-
you don't need to. And
Yeah.
this is
Okay,
going to
number 2.
equal a over
break it
x
down. F of
plus
x equals
b over x,
x
plus
minus
2
13
plus c
over
over x minus
2x
2.
squared minus 7x plus 3.
Okay. So now let's go
All right,
ahead.
I chose this
and
one.
we're going to
It's the same
solve.
thing as the last time, but I chose this one
a 3 by 3.
because you have to
Here we go.
factor it. You know,
Multiply
this is like star
everybody
method if
through
you wanna
by
factor
x,
star
x
method.
plus 2.
I don't know if you remember how to do that. Do you remember how to
x
factor this
minus
though?
2.
Yeah, you do a star, you put the 2s on the
Yeah.
So my first one
Some
I'll
people
get
can just factor
x
this straight away.
squared
Can you just factor
plus
it? No.
12x
Because
plus
2x
12
squared is just 2x times x
just negative 7.
equals. Yeah. Well, no, 3.
Now,
and
as you
3
notice,
is going to be
the
3
entire
times
left side
1,
will
so I would
always
need a
reduce
3
that.
here and a
You're
1 there to
multiplying
make
by that whole
6,
thing.
and 1
Over
gives
here,
me
the x's are the
negative
only
7 in
thing
the
that's
middle.
going to reduce. So I'll
That's
have
the way I
a
did that when I was
times, and I'm going to
growing up.
FOIL these
Star
out.
method.
X
Let's do star
squared
method.
minus 4.
Okay. I didn't have
Plus.
star method when I was your age. I walked to school.
B times
2 times
x
3 is 6.
I walked to
times
school
x
uphill both ways in the snow
minus
barefoot.
2. Okay.
2 times 3 is 6, negative 7 on the bottom,
x
put a
plus
2
2's
here
reduced.
and a 2 there.
And then finally,
And
plus
then
c
what
times
6
x
adds up to negative
times
7
x plus 2.
is a negative 6 and
Woo.
a negative 1. All right. So remember star method?
Let's go ahead and FOIL or distribute all of those
and then
into
2 over
them.
6
So we
is
have
1 over negative 3.
ax squared
And 2 over 1
minus
doesn't reduce.
4a
And so you do get
plus
2x minus
bx
1
squared
times x
minus
minus 3.
2bx
It's been a while since you've done a star method, huh?
plus
All right. The rest of
cx
it's going to be the same
squared
though, so let's
plus
see if we can
2cx.
do it. So we have x minus 13.
A lot, huh?
And then we just factored
All right,
this
so
as
let's get all of our x
2x
squares
minus
together. So there's
1
three
times
things
x
on the
minus
left.
3. We have an
3.
x squared, a 12x,
And this
and a
is
12.
going to equal.
By the way, if you were missing,
we're
say the
going to
middle
break it
term,
down into
that means that
a
your x's
over,
would
and
equal
it doesn't
0.
matter
which one's a
Okay.
over, because
You know what I'm
whatever
saying?
you get, the right
number
x
will
term.
be over the right.
All right, so we have ax
denominator.
squared, bx
Squared,
squared,
cx squared.
b over x
So
minus
that means
3.
that a plus b
Okay.
plus
You want to try
c
this? You want to
will
try the rest
equal.
of it? No? Okay. All right, so here we go. We're
Perfect.
going to take this and multiply everybody
And
through
then we have, let's get our
by
x's
2x
together.
minus 1 times x minus 3. Okay? So all of the numerators. So when we go here, everything reduces, leaving us with x minus 13. Here we get a times x minus 3. Over here we get b times 2x minus 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put the x's together. I kind of do this in one step if you don't mind. I have ax plus 2bx is going to be a plus 2b times x. And then my other one, which is going to be the next part, which is minus 3a and then minus b. Are these colors bothering you? Maybe. All right. So now what we have is the coefficient in front of x is 1. So a plus 2b will equal 1. And negative 3a minus b will equal negative 13. All right. Once again, you know, I would probably choose elimination. I just love elimination. You can multiply the entire first row by 3 and get 3a plus 6b equals 3. Usually I make these turn out to be nice integers instead of fractions, so if you get something like 4b equals 13, you did something wrong probably. So 5b equals 10, which means that b is 2. Okay, I go back up here and I'm going to plug it in probably into this first one.
Wait, you did it?
Yeah?
Negative 13 plus 3 will be negative 10. So it'll be negative 2.
Oopsies. Thank you. Oopsies. All right, so negative 2 goes in to here to make negative 4. So a would be what, 5? Right here. So a minus 4 equals 1. So a is 5. Okay, last step. Once you're done with that, you're not quite done yet. You got to put the a on top of the 2x minus 1 and the b on top of the x minus 3. So your answer would be 5 over 2x minus 1 plus b, which is negative 2. You could write minus in the middle of them if you wanted to. X minus 3. Okay? All right, let's do one more. And I think I'm going to get rid of the long division problem because it's just a bit much for the end of the school year, right? Okay, but this one you need to know how to do because I am going to put one like this on your test next week, so pay attention. All right, so we're going to break down this one, last one of the day. X squared plus 12x plus 12 all over x cubed minus 4x. Okay, so as you see, this one is a little different. We got a cubic on the bottom, so it's going to factor into 3 different factors. So we're going to have A, B, and C now. So fun, huh? Okay, so here we go. This is, no, I don't want to do that. This is x squared plus 12x plus 12. And when you factor the denominator, you factor out an x, and then you're left with x squared minus 4. But that's also factorable. The plus and minus or difference of 2 squares, remember that? So x plus 2 and x minus 2. So that's how the denominator factors. Don't factor the numerator, you don't need to. And this is going to equal a over x plus b over x plus 2 plus c over x minus 2. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we're going to solve a 3 by 3. Here we go. Multiply everybody through by x, x plus 2, x minus 2. Okay, so my first one I'll get x squared plus 12x plus 12 equals. Now, as you notice, the entire left side will always reduce out because you're multiplying by that whole thing. Over here, the x's are the only thing that's going to reduce. So I'll have a times, and I'm going to FOIL these out, x squared minus 4 plus b times x minus 2. Because the x plus 2's reduce. And then finally plus c times x plus 2. Whew. All right, so let's go ahead and FOIL or distribute all of those into them. So we have ax squared minus 4a plus bx squared minus 2bx plus cx squared plus 2cx. It's a lot, huh? All right, so let's get all of our x squares together. So there's 3 things on the left. We have an x squared, a 12x, and a 12. By the way, if you were missing, say, the middle term, then that means that your x's would equal 0. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like the x term. All right, so we have ax squared, bx squared, cx squared. So that means that a plus b plus c will equal 1. Perfect. Okay? And then we have, let's get our x's together. I paused that. All right, so we have negative 2bx plus 2cx. So that means that negative 2b plus 2c will equal 12, because that's the coefficient in front of x. And then this is really cool because there's only one term for our constant. Everybody else has the variable x next to it. So negative 4a equals 12. And so when you look at this, you're like, are you kidding me? I've got a 3 by 3 to solve. But yeah, right. Yep. And then you plug it back in, and then you have a 2 by 2 to solve. Sometimes, though, you're going to get a 3 by 3. Do you know how to solve a 3 by 3? Yeah? How do you solve? Here we go. So a equals what? A is negative 3. So we got that one. That's good. And then you can go back and plug it in up here for a. So then you will get that b plus c equals 4. And then you still have negative 2b plus 2c equals 12. So now I have a system that's just a 2 by 2, 2 equations, 2 unknowns. And then I would multiply the first one by 2. Do you? 2b plus 2c, you get 4c.
Oh, if you add them.
Yeah, equals 8. Add them up. The b's will eliminate, leaving us with 4c equals 20. So c is 5. I would go up to this one, b plus c equals 4. and just substitute 5 in. So b would be -1. Okay, and now we got to put them all over whatever they started with up here. So we have -3 over x minus 1 over x plus 2 plus 5 over x minus 2. And then tomorrow we're going to integrate that.